Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Gotta unmute. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the 2350 Effect. I am the co-host, collaborator of the 2350 Effect, the 2350 Network, Damian Kinsey, and I am joined, as always, with Dr. Farron. Dr. Farron, introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here tonight, Sunday evening, to talk to you about some fun stuff coming up. We're excited to be here together. And I'm Tanya. I am the owner, CEO of Creative Living Ideas, as well as co-collaborator for the 2350 Effect with Damian Kinsey, and the co-creator of the 2350 Network, as well as the co-collaborator on the Work-Life Balance Summit. So let's just say we collaborate. We like to collaborate. How's that sound?
That sounds perfect. We're definitely ready to go. Hi, Kinga. Great to see you as well. Thanks for joining us. Those people out there, if you're joining us, please put in the chat, the comments, where you're joining us from, so we can thank you for coming and joining us now.
Yes. Thanks so much for being here with us. So we're excited to talk to you tonight a little bit about sort of that brainchild. Have you ever had just a vision or a thought or something like that that's come along and you think, this is really cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. And how do you do something like that? So I was talking to Damian last week, and we were talking about a conversation I was having on Clubhouse. And I was talking to people about building your business and some different steps and things to do about building your business. And I started talking about building a project like the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. And how do you get that started? How do you build something from the ground up? And we thought we'd spend some time talking to you about this today. It's the summit is coming up next week. We're really excited about that. We want to share with you our planning and maybe give you some inspiration to try some new things yourself and get you into a new place with your business or your life.
Hey, question. Can I work backwards? I want to work backwards at this one. The summit started coming. I want to show the real quick while people are chiming in and getting ready to go and get in. All right. So that is the real. Those are the amazing presenters who'll be joining us this weekend for the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. I'm excited. I will definitely be out live and out in Missouri for it. We have a retreat going on as well. Hey Jackie, how are you doing? Sharon, welcome. Great seeing you as well. I'm happy to have you at the summit as well also. So yeah, that brain trust that Dr. Farron was talking about, having an idea and making it come to life is so important. Dr. Farron, you want to talk a little bit about that?
I do. I really do. I want to talk. We're going to kind of go in through a couple of stages about this, like, first of all, that initial brain spark that you get. And what do you do when you have that moment where you think, this is a really great idea. I really want to do something like this. What do you do at that point? We're going to talk about, like, how do you go and talk to other people to learn more about how to develop it? Some of the behind the scenes things that you have to do to develop something like this. And then obviously watching it to come to fruition. And so I think that is a great process for us tonight. So please drop in the chat your ideas, thoughts. What are you wanting to do? What is something that you're thinking about? Wow, this would be really cool to do. So at the time, we did not have a network that we were bouncing ideas off of. And I remember the moment that I was just sitting here on a Saturday and all of a sudden I thought, I really want to do something where I can highlight all of these amazing people that I have met along the way in the last year on LinkedIn, on TikTok, different social media platforms, Facebook, all of those things, Clubhouse. I found all of these great little presenters everywhere, and I wanted to bring them together into one place. And I literally went and got a spiral notebook. I'm not kidding you, y'all. It was actually in this exact notebook here. You guys are going to like this. This says Business Third Hour. This is not my notebook. I never took a business class in third hour. This is my kid's notebook. And I literally went in and grabbed a spiral notebook and just started writing things out of what I wanted it to be. And really, and I'm looking to see, I think I've torn all the pages out of here for the plan, but really just got everything that was in my head down on a piece of paper. And just said, that's the first thing that I'm going to do, is just get everything out. So what do you do in the audience when all of a sudden you just have this great idea? This is a great idea I have. What's something you do, Damien?
So we was having this conversation the other day when we were talking about when we had Meet the Presenter Week. A lot of times when you have ideas, it's about writing it down, putting it together, creating this PowerPoint presentation, this big idea. But we don't think about how many times that we write the idea in our head, we brainstorm it, we critique it, we change a few things. And that a lot of that stuff lies in our heads and our own thoughts. So I kind of start there. I start with what is coming up in my brain, my thought, and what is coming up around with the people around me.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think I write it down because I don't want to lose the thought, like I don't want to forget one of these things. And when it just comes to you and it's just flowing and flooding and everything that you want to have happen and who you want to go to. And I knew that when this idea came about, I was going to do a virtual event. We were still pretty virtual in a lot of different areas and in the world. And so I thought a virtual event, that would be really easy to create. And I wrote down the list of the people that I would want to contact. Originally, you've probably heard me say this, that I wanted it to be just a female-like event, just for women. There's an event in St. Charles here in Missouri that's called the Working Women's Survival Show. And I sort of wanted it to mimic that. I wanted it to be something along the lines of that. And then I thought, I've had so many great male connections that I've learned from, Damien included. I couldn't just make it for women. And so I started writing down all of the people that I thought that it would be great to have invited to it. And then I started calling them up and having Zoom meetings. So what's your next step, right? Digging into it, finding a little bit more that you could do. So I called up Damien and I said, hey, I have this crazy idea. What do you think about it? And Damien said, And Damien said, and Damien said,
And Damien said, do it.
do it.
You know, I think it's a great idea. You know, you have so many people who get lost in their thoughts, their ideas, and you can get lost in planning. You can plan so much that you plan yourself out of things. And I'm a firm believer in you plan, you do, you check, you get it done. And doing it gives you an opportunity to grow and develop. And sometimes it just boils down to just starting it off and getting the ball rolling, and then people get involved and people get a part of it. Like it's so many different people who have been a part of this summit since the first one, which was a 1-day one.
Yes.
On a Saturday.
Yes.
And you know, so yeah, and I can't even remember if it was 2 presenters each hour. It was. It was? Okay, yeah.
It was. Yes, it was. It was 2 presenters each hour. And I remember talking to Damien and saying, well, I'm not really sure how this is going to, come out. I'm not sure exactly what this is going to look like. But here's my idea. I was thinking of just giving everybody their own Zoom link. I had purchased. Now, we're going to go into some things like you don't really think about. Like I had purchased my own personal Zoom account to have meetings with people anyway. It was pretty inexpensive. So I thought, well, I'll just everybody will have their own Zoom link, and I'll go through and make a newsletter, and I'll have all of these individual links, right? I mean, I'm brainstorming, I'm figuring out how can I make this work? And I think that's the beauty when we have an idea. We have the idea, and then sometimes we get a roadblock because we think, well, I don't know how to make that work. So I just will stop. It was a good idea, but I'm going to stop. Well, I'm going to encourage you to keep persevering and moving forward with that idea, because I went to Damien and other people. I asked them questions about pricing. I asked them what they would pay. I asked them, questions, and I got all kinds of answers about pricing. I got questions like, you have to have a 7 at the end. You have to have a 9 at the end. People said under $100. People said under $500. Like there was a range of prices that people said. And then the event, I went to Damien and I said, I think I'm going to give out individual Zoom links. I think I can organize it like in a newsletter. And then Damien said,
so I said, no, I have a friend. I just went to her virtual conference that she had. And I was like, I am going to connect you with her. And that is the power of connections in situations when you have genuine people willing to help other people. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to her. I texted her. I reached out to her. And she said, I'm happy to meet. And then I connected both of y'all together. And she was able to explain. I, at that point, was not a fan of Zoom at all. Sorry, I'm a Teams person. So I wasn't really a fan of Zoom. But when I saw her have this virtual conference, and I was like, wow, I was like blown away. It was like a conference, like in person, but it was in a virtual level. And they had all the components of it. They had breakout, they had rooms, they had a lobby, it had all those things in it. And I was like, you know what? Do it. And I'm going to connect you with somebody. And that's what you have to have. You have to have people who are genuinely willing to share the information and not hold the information. Like when it's so hard, when you have people who are trying to just hold on to the information, it kind of laughs. What did you think when I'm passing off some stranger to you to talk to you and you're having a meeting with them?
I loved it because, I've learned that it's okay that you don't have all the answers yourself. And so when you're talking to other people and they're giving you this question, now I'm going to say it was great to meet the other person. I was nervous about trying something different. Like I didn't know anything about it. And so I spent a lot of time researching Zoom events, like going into YouTube and checking it out and watching videos and things like that. And I was really spending a lot of time digging into it. But this human resource was far greater for me. Spent a lot of time talking with her, called her, met her up on Zoom. She explained to me how to do it. And she came to one of our very first practice events. She encouraged us to have a practice, and we went in and we played with the tool, and it's great. Now, there's some other pieces that I want to share with people, like there's a lot of mistakes you're going to make too as you're going through something like this, that you're learning about. I pre-purchased a lot of seats for the event, thinking that once I had those seats for the event, that you could, have them forever. Well, long story short, I learned that they only lasted a year. And so I lost a lot of money in that very first event, realistically, because I didn't fill all of the seats that I purchased at a package. Like, you can purchase X number of seats for this amount of money, X number of seats. So, just amazing, opportunity, but didn't really read the fine print. So sometimes when you get out there, you kind of find that, you were going to come across a little bit of a mistake, but don't let that mistake be setbacks for yourself. Continue to persevere and learn more about a product or find other ways. Now, I have to tell you, beyond just the platform and the event, I went to the young lady that she's a young woman. I shouldn't say lady, a woman who helped me, Kristen. She is my graphic designer. She did all the graphics for all of my books. And I had her go in and create some graphic designs for me for the title, but I didn't even really have the title yet. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to call this. I wanted a conference, a workshop, a something. And I went and talked to my artist friend, literally in person, who is not a virtual person, not a technical person. But I said, help me brainstorm this title. And she's like, well, what do you want it to be for? Who's your audience? What do you want? So now listen, as we're going through this, right? I've talked to Damien. I've talked to other presenters that I've had. I've talked to my graphic designer to create graphics and color and all of those things for the brand of the event. And then, went in person to a friend of mine who's an artist, ran those colors by her, the fonts by her. Like, there's so many things to be able to consider when you're just even putting this little event into place. It's a big event, but this event into place, I'm going to take a pause here, take a breath while this is kind of all sinking in for you. I hope you're coming up with an idea, or maybe you're getting a little bit of bravery to maybe try the next thing that you're wanting to do. But I want to thank so much Lisa Fevick for joining us. Kinga, thank you. I'm so glad to know you. And Leslie Flowers, Sharon Byrne, thank you. Nicole, Nick, thank you for being here with us. Gosh, love collaborating with all of you. Jackie Hallberg, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And Christy Williams, thanks for being here. I hope you're feeling better. Dr. Geneva Williams, thank you for joining us tonight. Marshall, thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining us. I think I've got everyone at this point in time. So,
and Sharon is joining. Sharon went from
LinkedIn to
YouTube. So thank you, Sharon, for that as well.
Yes. Thank you, Sharon, for joining us as well. So, there's so many little behind the scenes pieces of the event. And at that time, the very first one that we hosted, Damien was not my collaborative partner at that point in time. We were probably into it, really close to the end, I think, before he joined us. But I already had a vision that I wanted our presenters to spend time together. I wanted our, them to get to know one another. I wanted them to learn from each other. I wanted to build this community together. And so we would meet every couple of weeks together just to talk and get to know one another. And for them to know each other was really important for me. I'm about to and then Damien. Yes. And then Damien said, Tanya, this is a lot. Do you want some help?
I saw how much it was. It was a lot going on. And the thing about me is I never wanted to always, I always make sure that whatever I'm doing, I kind of made sure that it was separate. So when I was doing, at that point, I was doing Finding Your Purpose, and we was doing a 3 Ps, pet, professional, and something else with Aaron. And I wanted to make sure those commitments were taken care of before jumping into the work-life balance summit and supporting that. So it was going on and rolling, and I was like, you know what? I couldn't attend one of the audio rooms that were going on because they were kind of clashing with some of the stuff I was doing externally. So I said, you know what, I can help in another way. I think I did one audio room, and I said, you know what, let's do Meet the Presenter Week, and we kind of did that and started off with that and did lives and Meet the Presenter Week, and we did that, and we were able to kind of get people involved with that. So I was like, you know what, you need help. Like I was like, yo, you're doing this yourself? And he was like, no, I gotta help, but I'm like, this is a lot, and I could tell it was a lot. So I was like, what do you need? And that's how we came up with Meet the Presenter Week. And in the course of that, before the summer was done, we were talking about the work life, the virtual wellness experience. But I'm gonna hold off on that. But there was so much going on, and it was like, and I just wanted you to win. It wasn't even about me being a part of the summit or anything. People would be like, "You're part of this Damien." I'm like, no, this is Dr. Farron's summit. She created it. This is her brain trust, and to this day, I still say it because that's the truth. It is what it is. You created it with your brain trust, and I just wanted to help support you. And I was like, you know what, this thing is going to continue to grow. It just needs to be consistent, and you just need as much help as possible because nobody could do it by themselves. And I was happy to help, and people got supportive, and I loved it.
It was so nice. I was just like, yes. So that's, like take number 2, if you're 3 or 4, if you're writing notes down, accept some help from somebody. If they're offering to help you, accept that. Say, that would be great. It's okay. You don't have to try and do everything on your own. You don't have to have all of the answers yourself. And Damien just started saying something that we're going to get into, that consistency and keep moving forward. Now, I was very transparent on Clubhouse having this conversation, is that, it wasn't as huge as I wanted it to be. In my brain, I wanted it to be this enormous event, but it ended up being small. And I remember really fretting over selling tickets. And I remember one of our presenters say, just give some away. It's okay. Just give some away. And I was like, oh, I don't know that I can do that. Like, should I do that? I don't know. So we gave some tickets away, and we were able to get some more audience members and really start growing the vision of what we wanted. Because, it's so hard sometimes. Sometimes our pride, I think, gets in our way of things like that, like I should charge this much, or maybe I'm not worth this much, or something, whatever is your hang up or whatever. But, taking little steps and building that community and building that audience organically takes a lot of time and energy and effort. And it doesn't just happen overnight. And we have to remind ourselves of that. If you're hosting something right now and maybe it's not exactly the way you want it to be, take a look at it, reflect on it, and maybe make some changes. And we did that with the very first one. We asked our audience what they wanted, and they wanted more. And that was very positive.
So we ended up having like a breakout focus group. That's how it turned into a 2-day event, because the people who were there said that's what they wanted. And the beauty of the whole thing is that we had individuals who turned participants and turned into presenters. We've had people who have paid for the summit and then became presenters of the summit. We've had people go from presenters to recommending other people to attend the summit. And I think it's so important and great. Like when you just put yourself out there, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn about what people want, their needs in the community, and you're able to support and get support from people. And I think that first one was really like a good way to get information and talk to people.
Yes, it really was. Like, hindsight, looking back at it, it was incredibly valuable. And we had so many great successes. We had, the event functioned properly. People got in, people presented, people showed up. Like, those were amazing wins that we had, and it was thrilling. It was really exciting to be able to do that. And so, we then talked about it afterwards and said, this was really fun. Let's do another one.
Yeah, it was fun. It the thing about it was like, you know what, figure out the baseline of what the formula was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of it, like moving forward, was rooted in that first summit. I remember you had you were telling me about what Annika's beginning thought process of it was,
Yes.
to how she grew during it, and then what her mind, and how when she actually physically got involved in it, how she was getting lost in the summit.
Mm-hmm.
So which is great. You have somebody who's working on a part of the summit who has this big this idea of it, and then as it starts evolving and they get a part of it, it's like, wow, this is great. This is great information. I can learn. I can use this in my career. And even as us as participants or presenters, we learn so much from everybody in those rooms. I learned so much from sitting there with Deanna and hearing her presentation during the summit. I learned a lot from when Lee was doing it. I learned a lot from that first group when we had that sit down and everybody was in there, and it was kind of like a debriefing, and the participants and the people who bought tickets, the people who got tickets were in there, and they were talking about their summit experience, and it was like it was great to hear how much people have value from that summit.
Mm-hmm. It's really true. We did, and that was another thing. So behind the scenes, in order for us to continue to build on the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, Damien and I spent a lot of time collaborating together, not maybe, but doing a lot of little tweaking. So we spent a focused time on it. And I think that's something that's important for people to understand, is that, just putting an event out doesn't always mean it's going to be successful or come to fruition. You have to do a lot of different things. You have to talk about it. You have to go on other people's shows, events, do your newsletters, like all of those things that continue, your social media posting, all of that stuff takes time and planning. But behind the scenes, what you're not really seeing is Damien and I meeting once a week. And we spent a lot of time looking at the nuts and bolts behind it, and to improve the next one and the next one and the next one. And a weekly meeting with tasks assigned to each of us of things that we were having to do, like really creating a presenter feedback form. And while that sounds simple, making sure those things are done, presenter feedback form, participant feedback forms, learning more and more about them.
Yeah, I think it's so many nuances and pieces to it. Yeah, and then thinking about it, like if you're trying to run a summit, just do it and whatnot. You want help, support, reach out to one of us. We can help figure it out and support you in ways. I think it's so important to. I think it's unconscious at this point. When we did the last one, I didn't even think about anything. It was like, people were like, wow, yeah, the stuff that we thought about before, or we were running into, that became a little bit harder before, seems so easy at this point.
Yes.
And it's unconscious because we have a flow. We know what to do. We know where we know our spaces. It's an unconscious, non-verbal chemistry at this point, because we know what we have to do. We're on the same page on everything. If any hiccups come in, we're able to redirect and pivot quickly. We're able to get things going. There's so many nuances and pieces to it. We can probably write a book about running your own virtual summit. I'm telling you, we have enough hours technically to do it, because we have done enough planning, enough meeting, enough vetting for presenters, enough meet the presenters, enough lives, audios, and enough summits on our belt that we probably can write a book or do a conference on how to run a summit. So
It's true, which is why we wanted to talk about this tonight. I agree. So Tracy asked in the question, I'm going to answer that question. Tracy, the summit is coming up this Friday and Saturday, October 3rd and 4th. So there are links in the chat here. You can always go to Creative Living Ideas website and you can grab your ticket there. And then we also have, we continue to improve on some things like, branching out to other areas. So we're on Eventbrite right now. There's a 2-for-1 deal going on Eventbrite for tickets. So that's an area if you and your friend want to come to this, but really, our purpose behind it is really probably the most important thing. Like we've talked about a lot of nuts and bolts for building and development, but our purpose behind it is really to help people create a good work-life balance. And so kind of that purpose that I thought, I've been in the education field for almost 30 years, and it's not a surprise that teacher burnout and teacher retention is not as good as it used to be 25 years ago. And so I see a lot of burnout in the workplace, as well as working with counselors or social workers, things like that. People that are in the tech industry, they're very, busy and have a lot going on. And so I wanted to create a space for them to help them, balance their life and have less stress, and I think we found some amazing people.
Yeah. Tracy, I sent you the link so you can get more information about the summit. Anybody else want the link? The link is here for the events, and you can click on it, go on to Creative Living Ideas and get all the information about the summit. It also is this is also like the short link of where you can go get information as well for the summit as well. And the thing that kind of stood out to me that I kind of forgot about, that I just remembered, the summit came at a time when there was a mass shift in people in education leaving the education field and people in tech and different industries leaving. So when we're talking about like work, and a lot of it was our work-life balance. Mm-hmm. So when you were coming up with the summit, like you wanted to meet the needs and support people in those situations. And even when we were building out the Virtual Wellness Summit, it was the same thing, having people be well when they're in a situation where they're trying to figure out their job situation. They're trying to figure out their family life. They're trying to figure out education. They're trying to figure out, just like how to pause and breathe and take a time in dealing with burnout. And I think it came at a great time. And I think it's continued being at a great time because a lot of companies are shifting towards having conversations around work-life balance, having conversations around wellness. And I think the summit was, this is the third one, but I think it was like 2 years ahead of itself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, and the thing that's important for us is we don't repeat presentations, so that our repeat attendees are getting some fresh information, fresh, most current information that they can possibly get. And that's very important for us as well, and so we are also getting to the point where we're not seeking out presenters. Presenters are seeking us out. And that is really important. And I think it speaks a lot for the event that presenters are coming to us and saying, I'd like to be a part of this. How can I be a part of it? And so that is really important to us. And, stay consistent, stay the course. I think a lot of times I see people in entrepreneurship and in their own businesses, they change too much too soon. Oh, this event didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do something else. Well, it takes time to build a brand. It takes time to build a business. It takes time to build events and to start growing an audience and be able to do that. So be patient with yourself with that and be consistent. And, it's hard sometimes to talk about what you're doing or yourself. But if you're wanting to tell people about your event or you want them to come, you have to tell them about it. That's probably been like one of my hardest things to learn in the last 5 years of owning Creative Living Ideas, is learning how to, I always want to talk about somebody else. I want to talk about Damien. I want to talk about our guests. I want to talk about, somebody else. But it's, getting that message out about the event or what you're doing, your book is really important. Yay, Christy, I'm so glad you got your ticket. We cannot wait for you to be there. We're so excited.
Yes, thank you so much. And Nick was talking about how hard it is, a challenging project of running the summit in Fathom. Nick has been part of the summit, and Nick's written 3 books at one time. So, you can definitely imagine how hard it is to run a summit. I think the reward is that the presenters and the participants are able to interact, and there's a lot of positive feedback. So I appreciate all the feedback, the support that goes into the summits.
Me too. And it really is. I mean, we have, incredible presenters that are, helping promote the event. And that's an important piece too. And so there's so many components that you think about that, that you as an entrepreneur may not have the best set of skills for, like ticket pricing, marketing, social media, advertising. Like there's so many pieces to that, not everyone can be an expert in all of the areas. So how do you go about that?
I think we do a good job of splitting it up. Mm-hmm. Like there are things that you're passionate about doing that I'm like, okay. let Tanya do that. And it's things that you go, let Damien do that. I don't want to deal with none of that. I don't have to, we both do lives. Like you're like, I just want to show up and be ready to just do the live on there. And I'm like, listen, the logistics, the putting together the whole actual website, you do that part.
100%. Like I love it. You're right. Damien is so right. Like we have found our role, which is perfect. Like we almost don't even have to talk about these things like anymore. Like it's so automatic for us. I do a lot more social media, pushing out, setting, doing audios in the morning, things like that he's at. But these shows are all Damien. Y'all, I just show up. I literally come here at 6:50 my time, maybe 6:45. Today I was 5 minutes early. But literally, and we laugh, and I'm like, well, I just came out of hair and makeup and, in here, and he's got all the videos ready to go and all of this stuff and all the links ready. I mean, I literally just get to kind of walk in and show up and be ready for it. But yeah, and then I do a lot of all the behind the scenes and agendas type things and getting meeting invitations out and emails and things like that, and it's nice. It's really nice to have a partner to collaborate with. And I feel like we have, our strengths in different areas. And I always say, nobody wants 2 Tanyas. Nobody needs 2 Damiens. One of us is just enough,
Yes. That is definitely so true. And I love that. It's like, what we know what the other one wants to do, is really good at, doesn't take away that you're not capable of doing it. I'm not capable of doing it. It's just that, okay, this works better when you do it. This works better if I do it. And this works better if we go get help.
Yes, exactly. Because we do say that too. We'll say like, maybe I should go talk to so-and-so, or maybe I should talk to this person or that person. And I don't want to get off of the conversation of work-life balance. And we're going to talk to you guys more coming up about the 2350 network. But the network has been so incredible for us to talk to learn from, as well as for them to learn from us. Like it has just been amazing. So just as Nick shared, Leslie and Aaron are her partners in crime. Amazing. There's just, it's great to have your network of people to help support you in a variety of ways. Also, when you don't know the answers, or they'll help you, point you in the direction, or tell you what to, try this. Have you thought of this? Or, look this up. And so There's so many great things.
And even with the presenters and supporting them, it's like, you know what, all right, I'll reach out to such and such, you'll reach out to this person. I might not have time to get to this person. Will you? And it's just not even an issue.
Mm-mm. No, we share out our cell phone numbers to our participants. They can text us, call us. We've met with them. We've helped them with presentations. You know, one of the things that I love the most is a lot of people have, there's always a few people, I shouldn't say a lot. There's always a few people where this might be one of their first times presenting live. And so we spend time with them, getting to know them, looking at their presentation, talking through some things with them, letting them practice on us. You know, we have a practice run tomorrow night with our presenters, and, you know, just even the timing of setting up meetings. I think the very first time I didn't have all the meetings scheduled out. Well, now we know we have them on Monday nights, not every Monday, but whenever we're having a meeting, it's on a Monday night, you know, and we just kind of have this pattern down that's so nice. And I'm excited for it to grow and go, you know, even more. Like, you know, getting the word out more is just incredible. And we're going to have another one next year, you know, so they're going to be in October. And so, you know, come this year, check it out, see about it, share it with your friends, you know, talk to your coworkers about it, and come with us. It's great.
I think the great part about the summits are this, that every summit was a unique, different experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter if you went to the first one, you went to the first work-life balance summit, you went to the second one, and this is the third one, or you went to the virtual wellness summit or virtual wellness experience. Every last one of them had something different and different nuance. Like we added a retreat to this one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a retreat. I'm going out to the retreat, and we're going to meet people in person. So it keeps evolving and keeps growing and growing, and, you know, and I love that about it, you know. And it doesn't have to look like the most perfect thing. It doesn't have to have 50,000 people at it. It just needs to be something that we enjoy having. There's information, there's transfer of learning, and that we're building and we're supporting the people in our network, and not necessarily just the 2350 network, just people who are in our community, because everybody's a part of an extension of somebody else. Mm-hmm. And they touch our lives in so many different ways. And the goal is always to give back to the point where we're touching their lives as well. So the summit is a 2-day event. It is virtual. You can get your laptop, get your tablet. You can pull out your smartphone and watch the summit and participate. It's October 3rd, 4th. It's get your tickets at Creative Living Ideas. You can also go on Eventbrite and get your ticket as well. And you can definitely reach out to us as well if you need help and support in getting the ticket. Get your ticket for the summit. It started at early bird special was one price. Now it's $100 per day, $175 for the 2-day event, and you get the presentations for 30 days.
Yeah.
There's 2 presentations going on each hour, and you get them for 30 days. So if you want to go to one presentation and say, hey, next time I'm gonna watch the replay and get the other one, you can go and do so. And it's right from the comfort of your home or your cell phone. So you can be in the car, the grocery store, and you can tune in.
Yeah. And you can go back and rewatch it. That's the beautiful thing. You know, when you go to a conference and you're like, what did they say? What was that graphic that was on the screen? You know, I wanted to take a picture of that and I didn't get it. Oh my gosh, you can just go back and zip through and look at it. Can we show them what this looks like?
You have it?
I do have it.
See, same page. We were both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I do have it pulled up. I'm going to show you though. When you click on the link, so please click on the link so you can see it. There's 2 ways you can see it. This is if you were going to purchase a ticket. So if you were click the link to purchase the ticket, it looks like this. Yours says like purchase ticket here, not join lobby, but because I'm already in it, that's why. And you can just scroll through. You can read what it's about. You could read about the sessions, who all the presenters are. I'll go a little slow. We have 2 presenters every 45 minutes, every hour on the hour. well, not on the hour, but on the half hour. And then we have a meet the presenter time in the middle of the day. And then we've got a few more presenters. Damien wraps us up. That's just Friday. And then Saturday morning, Damien and I get you all started. We've got presenters on the half hour, 2 different presenters for you to choose from. So if you're in Lee's and you wanted to see Lisa's, or if you were in Lisa's and you wanted to see Lee's, you can always go back and watch that recording. They're immediately available for you to go in, and I'll show you how you'll be able to get to that. And then I'm wrapping us up with Boundaries for Balance. And so I'll be wrapping up our day. You'll be done by 3:15 on Saturday, enough time to go out and run your errands and do your shopping and stuff like that. So that's what you look at when you first get it. And then you click this to purchase your ticket. You get your options. You can purchase, like Damien said, 1 day for each day if you want to, or you can get both days for $175. Now, when you click that lobby, when you click the ticket and it's the day of, or when you go back to that link, you're going to see the lobby like this. And this is where you'll be able to come back in and watch them. So once we're finished with this, it'll have, instead of like mine says start because I'm doing it, yours will say join. Then it'll say watch recording after it's over. So you'll be
real quick, you can build out your own itinerary just like any other conference that you go to, and it'll pin. See, just like she has it there. It has.
These are the ones that I'm presenting at. So they're already on my itinerary. So you can go through the sessions and you can bookmark them and bookmark the ones you want to go to, and it pops on your itinerary. Yeah. And then you can go in and take a look at the speakers, and you can see their links for you to be able to connect with them, their YouTube channels if they have them. And so you could go in and learn a little bit more about the presenters. I think everyone on this page is on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty sure everyone has a LinkedIn account now on this page that you can connect with them even on LinkedIn. But it's just incredible to be able to go in and do this lobby chat. We can chat and ask questions, remind people to go to certain sessions, things like that. It is just, it's so fun. You guys, look at the countdown. It's 4 days, 13 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds. It's coming this Friday and Saturday. I can't wait.
4 days remaining. Wow.
I know. And if you want to go to, can you pop me back up there, Damien?
You're back.
If you wouldn't mind joining the page, let me go ahead and get you a link here, and you can, I always click the wrong one. I'll drop it in. Oh, it only goes to my people I'm streaming, but I'll drop it in here anyway. Damien can post it up on the page. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll get to go back in. Well, you can watch all of the 2350 effects, but you can go back in and go to our lives, and you can see all of our Meet the Presenters that we have done. So you can go in and learn a little bit more about all of the presenters that are here. Oh, I must have been really laughing about something on that one. I'm sure we were having a good time last week. So you can check out all these Meet the Presenters and learn more about them just by going back to the YouTube channel. Okay.
All right.
Oh my gosh, time's flying.
It definitely is flying.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Felipe, for sharing that. Oh my gosh, you attend over 100 events per year. Wow. Thank you so much. It is a easy conference to navigate. It's so fun. And we love, all of our presenters want to engage with the audience too. So it's really engaging and fun. Grab your notebook and pen if you are going to do that and be in person or be with us. Have your notes ready.
Yes. Definitely have your notes ready. I dropped it in there.
Thank you.
So you can go hit the subscribe button. So also while you're subscribing to stuff and adding to stuff, to subscribe to the 2350 Network page, subscribe to the LinkedIn page, subscribe to the CLI page, Creative Living Ideas page as well. So you can get more information out to minute to what's going on as well. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna step off stage.
Sure. Well, I would really love to see a lot of you there. It is just such a fun time that we enjoy together so much. Would love to get to know you a little bit better as well. So please join us for this event. And if you have questions about building your own, reach out to Damien and myself because, we're here to help bounce ideas off. Or if you have a great idea for us, let us know as well. We're happy to hear that.
Yeah. This is definitely, that's a great point. It is diverse, Jackie. It is an international summit. We have people from all over the world.
We do. We have Lisa.
All continents?
Yes.
At this point? Yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Lisa's in Trinidad, right? And Paul's in Canada, and
Al
is in Malaysia, and Mary is in London. I mean, incredible that we get to be around the world. I'm going to let everyone know that I'm on Lisa Fevek's show on Tuesday, so please come join us as we talk about work-life balance on Tuesday at Lisa Fevek's show. So please join us for that as well.
And thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Wow, we are at the 8:51 mark. Like that was really quick.
It has been.
So what is one thing that you have learned about you during this last 2 years of putting these summits together?
Yeah. I've grown a lot. Like it has really forced me to grow with so many different things, social media platforms, learning things. And it has been so fun to learn, like learning how to use StreamYard. Damien and I are on Canva all the time, making flyers or informational pieces, like just little things like that have been fun, like actual learning. But learning about myself, gosh, I feel like I just want to continue to learn and grow. Like every time we host something, I am personally learning something new, whether a new financial tip, something new for the workplace, something new for, mental health. I mean, there's so many facets that I learn. And every topic is different, Felipe. It really is. It's unique, Jackie. You're right. It's diverse. And we love that. And that's just organic, to be honest with you. Like we organically just like to connect with a variety of people and topics. Damien, how about you? What do you think you've learned in the last 2 years of us working on this together?
I've learned so much, and I have to thank you for that.
Oh,
Thank you for calling me, texting me, asking me, what do you think about this idea? I was honored to actually be a part of like the people that you picked to even have that conversation with. Learned so much going from being a presenter to being a supportive volunteer to being a person, a part of the summit, to building the summit. Like in the course of us doing all this, we have went from doing audio rooms, planning a summit, getting participants, turning it into a 2-day event, creating a magazine out of it, having a retreat folded into the summit, and so much. And the presenter amount of presenters grew. Meet the Presenter Week, trial and error, different reels, audio rooms, lives, morning shows.
Yeah.
It's so much. Like and then even doing those networking, those breakout rooms, collaborating, getting presenters together, building the network, building the 2350 network, building the 2350 campus. Like we have a virtual campus in space, which is a campus. Like there's so much that's come out of this. The friendship that I've built with you, the partnership, you trusting me and giving me the opportunity to be a part of this it's so much. Like, you see my professional growth, my process as well. So thank you. So that's why.
Well, that was so nice of you. It was supposed to be more about you, but thank you for all of those kind words. I do feel that way, like it has been really, really a fun collaboration. And Damien and I said, how long are we going to do this together? And we said, until it's not fun anymore. And it's still fun. Yeah. And so we're enjoying collaborating on these projects. And y'all know Damien, like he's like the smartest guy in the room. So why would I not ask him to be a part of this? And it's been really, really fun to do. It's been really fun. And so we have been able to grow and you're right. I didn't really think about all of those things. Like, they just kind of have evolved and rolled off, right? One thing led to the next, which led to the next and to the next. And I'm looking forward to continuing to grow and learn and try new things and make smaller tweaks and changes to an already great event. And so again, I want to encourage those of you in the audience, you're trying something new for the first time, or you're thinking you've got that idea, write it down, get it started. Leslie Flowers is going to tell you the first thing, right, that happens. It's spoken, it's written, it's going to come out, it's going to happen. So make sure that you are really putting your dreams out there. And that's really what it was for me. This has really just been just a dream, to be able to do something like this. I think about where, 5 years ago when Creative Living Ideas was even just started, and to where it is 5 years later. So thank you for everybody, for all of your help. I couldn't do it without everybody here. Every single person that's here, I just couldn't do it without y'all. And I can't wait to see you guys all in person. Like, I'm so excited about that this weekend. It's going to be super fun. Super fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it as well. Just would like to say this. You know what? You partner with somebody, and sometimes you can unconsciously try to take over. I've tried my best not to insert myself and overstep on your vision and dream, even though you have let me do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. And sometimes I'll be like, so what do you want to do? You'd be like, I don't know. What do you want to do? And I'd be like, I don't know. What do you want to do? And a lot of it is because I know how much thought and passion you have put into, creating this idea on a sheet of paper and bringing it to life. And kudos to you for creating something out of your brain in a January, what was that, 2023, January-ish, February-ish, and in October saying, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get it done.
I'm gonna do it.
Pulling people together and getting it done. And we are here to the point where some of us are gonna be in person.
I'm excited about that.
So with that said, we have 2 minutes, and I would like you to close us. Let's go to the website so people know where the information is one more time. And then can you please just close us out with a quote so we can get ready for the Work-Life Balance Summit. And those people who are presenters out there, we do have the Work-Life Balance meeting tomorrow night. So I will see you tomorrow night for the Work-Life Balance Summit meeting. And that's the link there. Thanks, Kinga.
Kinga will miss you. Maybe one day.
Here.
Yep. You can go to Creative Living Ideas website, and you can go to the Work-Life Balance Summit. This is my amazing team that helped me get this off the ground, as well as everybody else. You'll see the Work-Life Balance Summit information. And when you scroll down here, you'll see some testimonials from presenters, as well as our video and testimonials from other participants. And then you can click this right here, click for tickets right here. And once you click it, like I said, it takes you to that next page where you're able to go in a little deeper. So yeah, definitely check out the website for Creative Living Ideas and get your ticket. All right, I'm going to close this out with a quote, because this is one of my most favorite quotes. It's from the movie Hope Floats, because I think this is perfect for this event, is trying something new. It says, beginnings are scary. Endings are usually sad, but it's the middle that counts the most. Just give hope a chance to float up. So I hope you're having an amazing middle, right? And go ahead and try that scary beginning. It's okay.
With that said, thank you, and we will see you at the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. Have a good night, everyone. And don't forget the video again.
Yep.